get your big heavy ass away from me.
For real, that's how you know.
So that's how they get.
Yeah, cause my boy Bruce's sister.
That's how she used to do you.
Man,
So
I
right up on your
was real short and skinny. She was always like 300, black, big hands.
She rocking your ass every
I'm
time
talking
I
about,
see you.
I was forced to be her boyfriend. She'll carry me home on her back every day. Come on. Oh, damn, can't even run. I run. Fuck you up when I see you, Mom.
Who was T.H.?
Terrence. Alright, and then we ain't giving no homework because we're still working on that same lesson from last week. Alright, y'all.
I told you, Lil Rod over the weekend until he says that was coming to me. I told
Where
him
is
he
he?
was lying. I told him he was lying. I said, well, he lying.
Where is he?
You Gladys?
It said here.
Yes, yes.
I know they got no water in there. So like, popping the water.
Alright, y'all. So I got the printouts. I went to Leon the other day. I'm grabbing that so I can wipe off this board.
And this camera on?
I don't know.
Oh, he's
That's why I quit talking about the dick, you
I
know.
was just gonna say, what fuck I could actually say it.
Shut up, Kenna.
I'm gonna leave that guy. No aim, bro. Good, take all the shots.
Alright. So.
That motherfucker was proud. Like, well,
You just
Is
want
this
to
you?
He stayed, he trying to talk to me, bro.
That's your
mud and shit.
I'm gonna hold it. What you say?
See it on camera.
So we went over the homework. I'm gonna do a quick review before we get back into that lesson. How can I help you, sir? Oh yeah, you don't want to be no parts of this. Go ahead out. I know.
Well, we're not.
So we left off when we was going over our homework, which was the thought tracker. We thought about a recent time where we intentionally broke a rule. And we went through labeling them risky and not risky. So we're gonna do another quick review. I took it down and put it back up.
What's your step?
Yeah. You remember what they is?
Gary? My record.
Hmm?
That's the first. Yeah. Identify.
That's gonna be
How
one
you
of
guys
them.
do it? Recognize it. What's up, bro?
Bad Darius.
Just recognize it.
So, yes, but what's the first one before you recognize? Before you recognize something, what you got to do?
Think about it.
So when you thinking of, when you focusing on something and you thinking about something, what's that called?
Brainstorm?
That's your undivided what?
Attention.
Exactly, so you pay attention. You paying attention to your thinking. And then, Scott, you already said what number 2 is?
Yeah, you recognize it.
Exactly. And what are you recognizing?
You're thinking, right?
Well, what are you recognizing in the thing? What you looking for? You know, if we have bad thoughts, what's gonna happen?
You don't think bad.
Exactly. So you're trying to recognize.
Recognizing the bad thought.
Exactly, and that's called destructive.
Right. It's on the deep.
That's Charles' favorite word. So recognize destructive thinking patterns. So when you face with a situation where you know it triggers you or it causes you to act out in a certain type of way because you've been in that situation before, or you recognize when the situation is combusting feelings that you may not necessarily want to be feeling at that time. So it's like, and I always use my example of road rage because I feel this initial jilt. Like I feel an adrenaline pump through my body when I get mad. So when I catch myself feeling that way, that's when I start to have to pay attention. Okay, let me look at how I'm thinking because I'm thinking I want to cut her off. You feel me? So when I recognize that I'm thinking like that, that's when I'm paying attention to what I'm thinking about, and then I recognize that I'm having destructive thoughts that's gonna cause me to do something irrational.
That's what's a crazy time.
I was a crazy driver. That's why I got a new car, and I'm trying to change my way of thinking so I can keep it nice and pretty, right?
Mm-hmm.
So after we recognize
So, to cut you off, you gonna run into the back of that shit.
because I've been doing
She
really
gonna be in
good.
debt.
I've been doing
Don't
really
run to the
good.
back.
Evelyn seen me on the expressway the other day, and she called me and she was like, "You better get your, I want to drive slow because I got a new car facing." So she even saw because I got a new car and how I'm acting because it's something that I value.
Job coach Evan?
Yeah. It's something that I value. So when you have things that you value, you take care of it, right? So my way of taking care of it is for me to drive slow so I can be observant.
There's something to that.
What?
She ain't got no man. There's something to that.
Cool.
Evan.
How you know what she meant?
Yeah, Evan, but like she crazy.
Anyway, moving right along. So after we recognize the destructive thinking pattern, what's the last step? It's on your paper. If you having negative thoughts and you catch yourself having those negative thoughts, what do?
Risky shit.
That's if you don't think it through and if you don't pay attention. But if you thinking it through and you recognizing destructive thinking patterns and you have an intent on making changes and thinking better, what are you gonna do when you recognize that you having a destructive thinking pattern? Let's think
Try to
of,
control it.
how do you try to control it though?
I'll take me a shot right there in the car.
Well, that's your coping mechanism. So I'm gonna go back to the time where you were talking about when you get into it with your girl, you started to think about Nia Long. You said somebody.
Yeah, making good.
Megan Good.
Yeah,
So what are you doing?
fantasizing.
You changing your thought process, though, right? But you changing that thought process, right?
Yeah,
You upgrading that thought.
yeah, I ain't mad no more.
And when we upgrade our thought, what's that called?
Upgrade?
It's called an upgrade, but it's called the counter thought. So remember back when we was doing the Cincinnati training, you had the counter thoughts. That's when you use your counter thought, and that's when you do the upgrading on your thinking. So, we did learn how to use the thought tracker in the last couple sessions that we did. So, it'll help you pay attention to your thinking and recognize which of your thoughts are destructive. So remember we went through the risky and the not risky. The risky thoughts are going to be the destructive ones. So today we're going to work on step 3, which is upgrade our thinking. We finished off on that on Wednesday and we're going to pick it up where we left off. So, before we begin on working on that, we're going to do our personal roadmap. So remember we talked about how your thoughts are like a car. You're taking down the road of life. If you need to know where you want to end up, you need to know you're going in the right direction. But if someone wants to go to Columbia and that, well, what we say, somebody's up if somebody going to Indiana, it's not gonna make no sense for them to take 290. They're gonna need to go they're gonna go 94, right?
Mhm.
So, you need to know where you wanna go out of life and where you wanna end up, and if your thoughts are taking you in that direction. Again, our thoughts are controlling our actions, so if we thinking in a fucked up or a bogus manner, we gonna do some shit that probably ain't good, right?
Hey, we not finna do no writing or nothing.
Yeah, we finna get to that. I'm just recapping what we talked about so we can all know what we're
Cause I
doing for
thought
the
you
day.
trying to set me up.
No, stand up.
I can't
Yes,
just
you
sit
can.
there and watch you talk. It's-
Alright, we finna get to it. So, remember
You
when
need to do me a favor.
what's that?
Email my community service hours to my probation.
Okay, we'll talk about it. So,
Did you get off?
Huh?
Did you get off?
Hell no. She need them so she can send it. I go to court next week. I'll finish that shit.
we'll talk about it after. So, we looking at Jesse's personal roadmap. So we run up Jesse's story. He just got out. He on probation. He got to go to these 8 classes. He got to get a job. He having trouble. Scott, I forgot Scott.
Yeah, Scott.
So he don't have reliable transportation. He's missed some classes. He getting a hard time from his PO. He skips his next monthly probation check-in. So we got a roadmap in front of us. This is what's up here what we went over the other day. So the 5 things that Jesse wants to see in his future is completing probation, working a job I like, making decent money, making my family proud, give visitation back with his kids, and have my own place to live. 5 things that he doesn't want to see is going back to prison, being homeless, working a low-paying job, disappointing his kids, and having more probation. So now that we know the direction that he wants to go in, which is the ones at the top, we need to help him upgrade his thoughts by thinking in a new thought that can take him to his destination. So, and this is what we did when we had our upgrade our thoughts, right? So, we went over his thoughts about if he's going back to prison, if he's homeless, if he got a low-paying job, disappointing the kids, no probation. So you remember we did the skit or the role play, and you was the PO and I was Jesse, Scott, and how, you told me, hey, you gotta come here, we need to talk, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, and I walked through that about how I had a negative thoughts, about I might as well just get it over with, but then I had to use my counter thoughts to get me to kind of sway in that direction and go ahead and get it over with, right? So, now we're finna get to the good stuff.
Looks good,
So-
bad work.
Now it's your chance.
It helps you stay awake.
Exactly. So now it's your chance to practice upgrading our thinking with the thought trackers that we charted. So remember I said we want to go over them. We're going to save them for later. This is later. So,
We went over.
huh?
We said these.
They're not the ones we're doing. We're doing from the thought tracker. So that's and homework. Your homework from last week. Since I think we did that Friday. So it's a thought tracker. Say 1E homework thought tracker.
No, I never. I hope it don't, 'cause I ain't gonna make this shit.
Okay. So, Zoe, let's do you first. Alright. So,
I thought we read them off.
we did. We read them out. Can you give me you got 5 risky thoughts?
Yes, yes. Yeah. 4.
4. Okay, give me your thoughts.
No, I got 4 non-risky and I got 2 risky.
Give me your risky.
How grown S and play a different block.
Have bro on F's.
Yeah. And play a different block.
block. Okay, so what is on your personal roadmap? What is the 5 things that you want to see in your future?
That I wanna see,
Mm-hmm.
getting my license back, get a full-time job, complete job training, see my people succeed, get married and have a nice family.
Okay. So now that we know which direction you want to go in, you'll practice upgrading your thinking with new thoughts that's going to support those life goals. You can't go back in time and handle situations differently, but you can practice for them the next time. So just like in Scott's situation, we're going to replace the first circle thought, since that was the riskiest for you. And we come up with a constructive thought that'll keep your personal roadmap in mind. So how can we link what you're trying to become, what you're trying to see in your future, to counteract with the riskiest thoughts that you have? So, if you thinking, have bro on security, but how is that helping you get your license back? How is that helping you get a full-time job? It's not. Exactly. So, when you having that thought or you in that situation and you start to think about your life goals, that's what you use as your upgrade thinking.
Oh, so it's kind of
Like it.
like a teeter-totter,
Exactly.
like,
Exactly.
okay, you finna do this, but then it's like, think about like, what is you doing this have to do with
that.
you helping your situation when it comes to that?
Bingo, right? So, that again,
That's
being
a lot
on
to think
road
about
rage.
in
It,
a
it
short period
is.
of time.
It is, but you'll be surprised how much you think about in that short period of time.
With that, I look and say, fuck it, it's that hot. I ain't even going out there, period.
That was one of them too. That's one of the knowledge.
But see, when you start to think about that stuff, that's the thought that come to your head. You feel me?
You're right, cause you could, like, for the full-time job, it's hot outside, fuck it, I'm finna do me some applications on the internet.
Exactly. Perfect example. So, but that's what you do. So if you having that thought, man, I might as well get somebody on security, whatever the case is, and you think about, but shit, I'm gonna fuck around and he ain't gonna watch and something gonna happen, and now I'm gonna be back having to do probation or whatever the case is. So you using your personal roadmap goals of the person that you're trying to see yourself becoming, and you use that to counteract the things that you know has caused you trouble in the past, like a road rage. So when I do see somebody out, I don't want to fuck my car. I ain't even gonna play with them, right?
You fucked your car? What's a road rage?
Yes, that's how the bumper got messed up, because I want to skirt up and cut somebody off, and dude didn't want to stop because he want to play the game too, and he in a big ass truck that nothing happened to, but my little old car got a bumper missing now, right? So you gotta look at it like that though, because if I hadn't been doing it, if I would just let him go, this wouldn't even be happening if I'd just been a little bit more patient. So, so we're gonna come up with some upgraded thoughts. So we got those. Sky.
I ain't got no situation.
Oh, that's a lie. Say down.
Fucking it over.
This one, that come from time, man. I'm fucking it out. That-
Alright, and let me see. I'm gonna do yours. So I'm for all of yours. I'm for all of yours. I'm for all the chances.
Tell the TV it's not working.
Leave me the fuck alone. Stop
Hey, and sweet.
I forgot you was in the store.
He's stealing. What's up to?
Hit another stop down the street. Gotta get more shit. The young generation sweet. And I love that shit.
That's all.
Yeah, the album said one. Just throw it in the bag and the police came, I thought they called me.
You say just throw it in the bag.
Yeah.
What else?
The police came, I thought they called me.
Nothing else?
No, that's it.
Okay. So we got your thought tracker, right? So your thought tracker is you are in self checkout and you finna steal, right? Your thoughts is they are sweet, hit another store down the street, gotta get some more shit. The young generation sweet. I love that shit. Just throw it in the bag. I think they call
So,
it 12.
yeah.
He said. So, what's your 5 things that you want to see in your future?
Get out child support. Get married. Have some more kids. See my kids graduate from college. And drive 18 wheelers.
Okay. So, I'm gonna have to go back to those because what did we come up for your upgraded thoughts?
We never did that.
TV said copy.
Upgraded thoughts, what's the upgraded thoughts?
What we talked about was upgraded thoughts.
You talking about
The bond?
personal roadmap?
So we went over your thoughts, right? And then we talked about your personal roadmap. And we came up with how the risky thoughts help you in that personal roadmap. So when you have a risky thoughts and you start to think about your personal roadmap, what are the counter thoughts or the upgraded thoughts that come to you to counteract off of having bro on ass or a play?
Oh, we did that with the other one. We didn't do that with this one.
Well, he just said like 2 of them. I just didn't write them up there. So what's some of the counter thoughts that you would have if you go off of your 5 things that you want to see in your roadmap?
Not going outside.
Is that honestly what you think though? So let's look at it,
Oh
right?
shit, trying to find a job.
Try to find a job. And I think it's gonna go a little bit easier after we do the role plays and you kind of think about yourself in that
What
moment.
wrong place?
Oh yeah.
That extra day, is it?
Oh yeah.
Huh?
Friday.
It's not hard. You just sitting there, you thinking how me and Zoe did what I did, like, well, fuck it, I don't
Why
want to
we can't do
go.
it Friday?
And I was like, man, fuck it, because we're finishing a lesson today. That's why.
Probably got a nap in at that time.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
You'll be okay. Alright, so if you're thinking about having bro as, and you're thinking about your goals that you want out of your life.
You gonna have that motherfucker running out.
No, they're not. No, it's all little as hell.
You gotta go in the lemons, the first one. You do.